Today you can board a plane and be on another continent in a few hours. One moment you're drinking coffee in Prague, the next you're looking at the skyscrapers of New York. Natural, right? But have you ever wondered, why do we actually fly? Why did humanity invent something so complicated, noisy, and expensive just to get from point A to point B? Why didn't we have trains, ships, or bicycles? The desire to fly is as old as humanity itself. For thousands of years, we have looked at birds and seen in them freedom, speed, the ability to go anywhere, without limits. But for a long time, there was only one thing between dream and reality: gravity. And then one day, a flight came along that changed the world. But the question remains, if we've managed this in the last 150 years, what will flying look like in the next 150? At the beginning of the 20th century, flying was more of a dream and an experiment than a reality. People tried various machines, but few could control the flight. And that is the key. The brothers Orville and Wilbur Wright from America changed that. In 1903, they demonstrated the first successful controlled flight on Kitty Hawk Beach. Their machine, called Flyer 1, flew just 36 meters in 12 seconds. It may not sound like much, but this short flight was a huge step for human civilization. For the first time, we overcame gravity not by accident, but consciously with control. Their plane had a wooden frame, fabric sails, and a simple engine. But most importantly, it had wings that could tilt and a rudder for direction control. Thanks to this, a new era was born, the era of aviation, which in a few decades connected the world in a completely new way. Without the Wrights, we might still only dream of flight today as an impossibility, and the world might look completely different. After the Wright brothers' first success, aircraft developed rapidly, and the two world wars pushed them forward the most. In World War I, aircraft were used massively for military purposes for the first time. The original reconnaissance machines quickly became weapons. Fighters fought for air superiority, bombers attacked enemy targets. Technology moved forward at an incredible pace. Engines were more powerful, structures were stronger, controls were more precise. Development was directed towards speed, agility, and range. World War II accelerated the pace even more. Fighters like the Spitfire or Mustang became legends. Bombers capable of carrying heavy loads over long distances appeared. Military aviation also had a huge impact on the civilian world. After the war, technologies that emerged in combat helped create the first modern transport aircraft. Without wars, aviation would probably not have developed so quickly. Although it is a sad truth, history shows us that it is conflicts that push technology forward. When the wars ended, airplanes were no longer just weapons, but began to change civilian life as well. Technologies developed during conflicts found new uses in the service of ordinary people. In the 1950s and 1960s, the first jet airliners arrived, such as the Boeing 707. Suddenly, it was possible to fly long distances quickly, comfortably, and relatively affordably. Flying became a symbol of progress and freedom. People could travel, discover distant lands, connect families and businesses around the world. Airliners made the world smaller. What used to take weeks by ship or months by train can now be done in a matter of hours. After the advent of jet aircraft in the 1950s and 1960s, aviation continued to develop rapidly. In the 1970s and 1980s, larger and more comfortable machines arrived, such as the Boeing 747, the legendary jumbo jet. These aircraft could carry hundreds of passengers at a time, which made air tickets cheaper and made flying more accessible to a wider range of people. The first low-cost airlines were created, which changed the rules of the game. Flying was no longer just for the rich or businessmen. It became a regular part of life for many people around the world. Globalization, the development of tourism and trade relations, supported the massive growth of aviation, which began to connect not only large cities but also remote corners of the planet. However, this development also brought challenges: traffic jams in the sky, greater pressure on the environment, and the need for innovation. In the last 2 decades, aviation has faced new challenges. With the massive increase in the number of flights, problems have emerged that were not so visible before. Air traffic is at capacity in many places, which means delays and more complex planning. In addition, pressure on the environment is growing. The aviation industry is one of the largest producers of CO2 emissions, so there is a need to find new ways to fly more sustainably. This is leading to the development of modern fuels, electric and hybrid aircraft, as well as experiments with alternative technologies such as hydrogen or solar energy. At the same time, there is a desire for greater comfort and safety, from better cabin technology to automated control. The future of aviation will therefore be a combination of innovation, sustainability, and an increasingly interconnected world. What will flying look like in 150 years? Technologies that we consider futuristic today could be a common reality. Imagine planes powered by clean energy, electric, hydrogen, or based on principles that are still unknown. Emission-free, almost noiseless. Perhaps classic wings and jet engines will disappear, and planes will be more like vessels in the air, controlled by artificial intelligence and autonomous systems. Flying could become much faster, safer, and more accessible than ever before. We could fly not only around the planet, but even into space. Spaceflight for ordinary people could be the norm. The world will shrink again, and possibilities that we consider science fiction today will become our daily bread.